I find that a good number, I would even say more than half of the Indian parents that I have dealt with in 25 years is that they want their children to learn English very well. Isn't that it? Yeah.
Sure, they want their children to learn English very well.
Wait a minute, when I'm finished. When I was in Carson, they would even tell me, I want you to oblige my little boy to talk English.
Oh, no, Father.
And I found that an injustice for the little child, but they told me, I want you to teach him English.
Father, we heard people stand up here and say they were beaten if they spoke their native tongue. I am not in your residential
school.
But
that's one fact against the other.
Okay, but here
what does it prove? Nothing, yeah?
Here is true that the people who claim they have been fighting for the interests of the people have, in fact, for the last 100 years, fighting for their own interests and forgetting to develop the people. You know, this, I think, is the prime example of the residential school system. Let me finish, Father. Let me finish.
Yeah, I'm going to get that up here.
You look at the residential school system, and it's been in existence 50 to 100 years, ostensibly to help the Indian people develop in their own communities. What has happened, and I can say this for a fact from my own reserve situation, that whenever the school became threatened from Indian affairs, and the support of the Indian people was needed to maintain the school, then the priest came running to the Indian people for support. But when it was something else, where it was be for the benefit of the school without necessarily including the Indian people, then the Indian people were not consulted, and the two who made the deals were the priest and the Indian agent. The religious people of any denomination have tried to keep their residential school systems and have put these above the interests of the Indian people themselves.
The Indians have never had a voice in their own education.
They have never had a voice.
Where is the Indian voice in the school boards? Where is the Indian voice in curriculum?
Yes. I'm not condoning the curriculum that we have now. I'm just telling you, I admit that the transition from the outdoor life of the child from Wollaston Lake, when he's put in the curriculum of Saskatchewan with the English language, is totally a different world for him. I admit that.
It's traumatic.
Yes, I know. But I'm telling you, you go out and organize a curriculum that will curb that. We're trying to get people who will do that.
Have the Indian people ever been asked to do that?
Sure they've been.
They have? Well, I've yet to know about it.
Are you ready to try and help in that?
Yeah.
What grade have you got?
Well, how far did I go in school?
Yeah.
I dropped out in grade 9.
Yeah. Why?
But I'm not equipped. Are you telling me that I'm not equipped to make those kinds of decisions?
You should have got your grade 12. It's your talent.
Yeah, I should have, except that if the kind of school that I had gone to...
you blame the school.
Certainly.
I see.
You know, because...
you blame the school.
Well, who else do you blame?
Hey? Who else do you blame?
When you want the gumption to get through, you can always get through.
Oh, come on now, Father. Don't come up with the gumption business.
Oh, is that
gumption?
So?
For 100 years now.
You know?
Yeah,
and I can prove your statistics proportionally that the kids that go through a residential school, they're the bigger proportion of success than in an ordinary school.
Oh, that's how come we have so many doctors and lawyers and amongst our people, eh? That's how come we have so many professional people.
That's a poor argument.
You know, that is not a poor argument.
It is, yes.
I'm
talking about a proportion of those who succeed. The number that we have and those eventually pass their grade 12 compared to the number in a day school that they have in the province integrated school, and those who succeed proportionally, our proportion is higher.
They pass their grade 12, but they're not equipped to go into university.
You've got to have grade 12 to go to university.
Yeah, but they're not equipped to do it because...
How do you know that equipped?
The statistics, show that you have 7,500 in grade 1, and by the time they get to university, they drop out and they don't finish.
Do you mean to tell me your day students are well equipped to go to university? With this modern world, you're kidding me.
Well,
I know kids. I've been teaching 25 years, heavens above.
And how many university graduates have you turned out in your 25 years? How many?
A lot of them.
How many?
I was not
2?
in Indian school.
Or 3? Yeah. How many Indian graduates of university
you talk
have
about
you
your
turned
day
out?
schools. You see, you talk about your day school, your own integrated school, how much you're turning out. How many fallouts you have in these boarding homes in the city.
They're not equipped to cope with university because the kind of education you give them in a residential school doesn't equip them to go to university.
A lot of the residents really take, for example, have them in town here. It's a provincial course, provincial curriculum.
Well, it amazes me then that we don't have more university graduates.
Because they fall out.
How do you expect?
They fall out.
Every time we bring up an issue that's important to us, you talk over it. No, but every time somebody speaks, you just keep on continuing over the same old crap that you've been talking about all along.
Thank you very much. I'll probably talk crap tonight.
Sure.
We are living in supposedly a democratic country where people are encouraged to question things. And certainly when I question, that doesn't mean that I'm hostile toward them and I want them to disappear, but I'm asking questions. But immediately when an Indian asks a question, the hostility isn't on the Indians' part, it's always on the people who are being questioned, because they have the guilty conscience and they are the ones who are insecure about what they're doing.